Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Xojimurodova Ziyodaxon. I am a first year student at Tashkent State University of Economics, majoring in World Economy and International Economic Relations from the group 3925. Today I want to go through the 31 requirements that are given by my teacher to complete Aziz Zikriyoyev, who teaches us the subject academic skills. Okay, the first thing that we have to do is going online and search for World Bank Open Data. At the beginning of our course, we were allocated different countries to analyze, so each student had their own country to find out about its economy, geographic location, about development, and other things. So mine one was Kenya, an African country. So I decided to learn or analyze the determinants of economic growth of Kenya. So after writing Kenya, World Bank Open Data provides us lots of information for various topics like social, economic, environmental, and lots of others. So now we have to download it. As you can see, we have three options here. These are CSV, XML, and Excel. We need Excel. Here, we open it, and we have three types of data. Metadata for countries, and metadata indicators. We need only data. So we choose the first row. First, we have to allow changing. Open a new spreadsheet. As you can see, all the data that we need is transferred to Excel. And now the next part that we have to do is cleaning the data, or to choose the variables that we want to examine or to learn. For this, we do this kind of task by choosing the first row, copying it, and pasting to our new sheet by changing rows to columns and columns to rows. Here, we remove unneeded part and rename our variable name. That will be years. Yes, great. And the same thing will be done with all of them. I mean, by choosing the information that we need and pasting it to this sheet. But it is time consuming. That's why I already prepared my file here. As you can see, years, GDP per capita, that will be my dependent variable. Inflation, exports, manufacturing, and population growth, that will be independent variables that affect GDP per capita. That is one of the indicators of economic growth. So after saving it, I've already saved it. We have to open our Stata. Here it is, and import our file to Stata to work with it. So for this, we choose import, Excel spreadsheet, browse, choose our file, Kenya, and we have to choose this option which states import first row as variable name. It means now Stata doesn't consider it as numbers but as the names of variables and won't make any mistakes. Here, our file is already imported. So the first command that we're gonna give is browse. That will help us to check whether all our data and variables have been converted to Stata. As you can see, yes, these are years: GDP per capita, inflation, exports, manufacturing, population growth, and all 25 years. But as you can see, we have two problems here. The first one is that we don't have any information for 2025. That will cause some problems. And the second problem is that our variables are in red, which means data cannot read them. It doesn't consider them as a numeric form and cannot do any calculations. So the first thing that we're gonna do is dropping in our year 25. One observation is deleted. We check it again. As you can see, now we don't have information for 2025. And now we have to the string GDP per capita, inflation, exports, exports, manufacturing, and population. Growth, comma, replace. Which means we are now doing all our variables readable for Stata. As you can see, these are replaced is double. We again give command browse to see if it has worked, and as you can see, all of the information is in black color. So yes, we managed to make it readable for Stata. So now I'm gonna open or save this as a DTA file by writing Kenya DTA file. Save. We have saved it. And the next thing that I'm gonna do is beginning a log file. Begin. I write here Kenya log file and choose log 4. Save. Now all the commands and all the things that we'll do in Stata will be saved in this log file. So we have opened it on 28th of March 2026 at 7 p.m. So the next thing is opening a do file where we will write all our commands. I will first name it Determinants of economic growth in Kenya. We have to put 3 stars here so that Stata can understand that this is the title, not a command. If we don't put, it will be black, while if we put it, it will be green. So in a black one, these are real commands. So our commands were log file, creating a log file, log begin. Next was dropping 25, and then it was the string and our variables that were GDP per capita, inflation, exports, manufacturing, and population growth. We choose them. place here. So yes, every single command of ours will be written in this form in do file, but since it will take a little more time to type, I have already prepared all the commands that we're gonna have today beforehand, so I'm gonna use them. So actually, instead of writing commands here, we have another option that is going to our do file and choosing our command and executing the selected command. As you can see, it's already been like given a command here, although we didn't write it here. So as docsum here, Stata provides us an overall picture of what we have here. So we have years, GDP per capita, inflation, export, manufacturing, and population growth. Observations, we have 24 from 2001 to 2024. Mean of each variable, standard deviation, minimum and maximum values. So also it provides us it in a Word form. If we click, it'll open, as you can see here, and we copy this and put to a new Word that I have here and already put it so here. So these statistics, as I already mentioned it, show us what we have, how many variables we have, their minimum and maximum values, and their mean. Next command will be tset years. So tset years, it gave us time variable years from 2001 to 2024, and delta unit is 1. So it declares dataset as time series and enables time series commands like thisline and leg operators. So we give next commands. That'll be the tsline, execute selection. Here are graphs and graph combine. So I'm gonna analyze only one of them. Okay, two. So as you can see, it showed us the change in the GDP per capita over a 24-year period from 2001 to 2024. So as you can see, it has seen a dramatic increase from nearly 200 to 2000 and let's say 150. While in inflation we have some fluctuations, significant ones. Next would be our exports that also increased, our manufacturing that unfortunately decreased, our population growth, and we have graph combine that helps us to see and compare all the graphs that we have. And we also copy it and put it to our Word here in this form. So next command is scatter plots with linear fit, and the command that we give is two-way scatter our dependent variable and independent ones. So as its name already says, it shows us um, how much change in inflation affects our GDP per capita. So this line is a fitted values, and these dots uh, are located in different places here, and we can assume that if these dots are close to this line, then it has a significant relationship or effect on GDP per capita, but as you can see, these are located a little bit far from fitted values, while the same cannot be said about population growth. It is close or nearly at the same level as fitted values. So it means like population change in population growth significantly affects our GDP per capita. So here is also our graph combined so that we can see and notice that experts in population growth are have a significant influence on GDP per capita. We also copy it and paste to our word. So next command is histogram. So histogram displays distribution of GDP per capita of all our variables, no matter if they are dependent or independent. And as you can see, this line is called a bell curve that shows the best or normal distribution of variables. And this line shows us distribution that we have here. It's not that different as it is in inflation, that says that it is not normally distributed. So here are all of them and the graph combine. Also copy it and put it to our word here. So we are gonna give next command, that is graph box. That is 75% of data. Graph box reveals the distributional characteristics of GDP per capita, indicating possible skewness and presence of outliers which are common in macroeconomic data. So it summarizes data using 5 key statistics like median, lower quartile, upper quartile box, whiskers, and outliers. So tall box, like here, means that this variable has high variability, so population growth is highly variable. While short box means low variability, like here. Median near bottom top means it's queue with data, and low whiskers means widespread and many outliers is unusual observations or possible data issues. We don't have any of them. So we move to the graph combine, copy it, and put it into our Word formats like here. Yes, it shows us possible skewness and presence of outliers. We move to the next command, that is PV core, or Carl Pearson pairwise correlations matrix tests. And this test indicates the strength and statistical significance of relationships among variables with key predictors such as exports and manufacturing showing strong positive correlation with GDP per capita, while inflation exhibits a negative association. As you can see here, we have our variables: years, GDP, inflation, export, manufacturing, population growth, and we have ones in this diagonal, which means that each variable has a perfect correlation with itself, while GDP per capita has a 99% correlation with years. So each year it changes for 99%, so its value changes. Inflation, exports, manufacturing, population growth. As you can see, we have positive and negative outcomes, which means that inflation has seen decrease over years instead of increase, and inflation negatively affects GDP. So if GDP increases, inflation decreases, while if inflation increases, then GDP decreases. So it has a negative correlation with GDP per capita. So we also have exports, manufacturing, and population growth. So we also copy it and put it into our Word. Like here. By the way, as you can see, we have stars here, and this is the indicator of significance. As much stars we have, as more significant the values become, but in my case we have only 1 stars, so they are just in the first level of significance. Let's move to the next command, that is pnorm. How far variables are from their norm, their mean. So it checks, or it analyzes a normal distribution of variables. So here, these are observed values, while this line is expected normal values. So if these dots are close to the straight line, it means data is normally distributed. If points curve away, then not. It is close, while it becomes farther, as well as this one, while this one is too far compared to others, so it's not normally distributed. And our graph combine. We also copy it and paste to our Word here. Next, this is Shapiro-Wilk test. For normal distribution, we have it here. So this test further assesses normality, suggesting that while some deviations from normal distribution may exist, they don't critically undermine the analysis. So as you can see, we have our variables and observations. Probability should be more than 0.005. As you can see, two of our variables fail this test. That's why we take HA hypothesis, which states data isn't normally distributed. So next, this is regression test, or LS test regression. So we'll also execute it and find it here. So regression estimates the relationship between variables using ordinary least squares, as you can see here. So we have coefficients that show how much our outcome changes. I mean, our dependent variable when our dependent variable changes when our independent changes. So in brief, it shows a relationship between variables. So here the relationship is presented. These are coefficients that show how much GDP per capita changes when our inputs like independent variables like inflation, exports, manufacturing, population growth changes. And here it shows us, and as you can see, population growth is negatively affects our population, our GDP per capita. So p values test significance. If p is less than 0.05, it means statistically significant. As you can see, this is statistically significant. Our population grows while manufacturing doesn't affect GDP per capita that much. Exports also affect it, while inflation not that much. And yes. So we move further. That gives that here we have alpha test. And alpha test is the threshold for deciding significance in hypothesis testing. So we have common values here, 1%, that is 0.01, it means it's very strict significance. If it's 0.05, then it's most common, and if it is 0.1, it means less strict. And here we compare our p-value and alpha. So if p-value is less than alpha, it rejects zero hypothesis, and if p-value is more than alpha, it fail to reject H0 hypothesis. So we move to the next, that is stat with. Here, so the with results indicate no serious multicollinearity concerns, ensuring the stability of coefficient estimates. So here, as you can see, we are also provided table. So what does multicollinearity itself means? It means independent variables are highly correlated with each other. This is a problem because it makes coefficients unstable, makes variables look insignificant even if they matter. So, as you can see, we have here width and 1 over width and mean width that equals to 3.90. So, width actually measures how much variance of a coefficient is increased due to correlation with other variables. If width value is 1, it means no correlation as with inflation. So it doesn't have any like any effect on other independent variables. Here, when it is from 1 to 5, it means it's moderate and acceptable as our expert in manufacturing, and if it's from 5 to 10, it means it's high. Yes, so let's move to the next part, which is ANOVA test. Here we are again given a box. So ANOVA test compares means across groups, and this box plot helps us understand variation. So white box and long whiskers mean it has high variability. So that ANOVA compares between group variance and within group variance. So this plot overall is within. So within group variance. So the median here is roughly centered in the box. So distribution is fairly symmetric. So no extreme outliers are here, which means it is a good phenomenon here. So actually, while having or taking ANOVA tests, residuals should be approximately normally distributed. There shouldn't be any outliers visible, which is good. And since outliers can distort ANOVA results. And E hat, we move to E hat. Here, And this histogram with kernel density and normal distribution reveals that GDP per capita exhibits slight skewness and potential outliers, which is typical for macroeconomic data. So next is head test. And here we use to check for heteroscedasticity in a regression model. So heteroscedasticity occurs when the variance of the errors isn't constant across all levels of independent variables. So how we can check it? If p-value is more than 0.05, then there's no problem. And as you can see, we don't have any problem here. That's why this is correct. We move to the next part. So next are link test and O test. So link test command is given to determine specification mistakes in our model, while O-test checks whether there's missing variables in our model from H0 hypothesis. So if P is more than 0.05, then it doesn't have any problem. As you can see, mine one is without any problems because it is more than 0.05. So next is Kusum test. The most beautiful one actually. And Kusum stability test suggests that model is generally stable over time, although minor structural shifts may occur. As you can see, my line here is in the interval or between these lines. Of course, it like went a little bit far from this side, but anyways, since it doesn't go through these lines, it means it is stable over time. We also copy this graph and paste it to our Word here. And the next one is marginal effect. Given in this command. So as you can see, it actually illustrates how much these variables are gonna influence the GDP per capita, how much they're gonna change from 1 unit of increase in or not increase but change in their amount or value. So as you can see, a unit increase in exports or manufacturing leads to a corresponding increase in GDP per capita, manufacturing and exports, while change in inflation actually doesn't affect it that much. inflation and population growth. No, not inflation, but population growth um, exerts a marginally negative influence on GDP per capita. We also copy it and paste to our word marginal effect here. And then we move to, and we have finished it with our Stata here. Now we have to close our log that we have started. Close. So as you can see, it is closed now. And it has saved all the commands and that we have given and all the replies or process that we had. So I finished it, let's say, in 1 hour. Here in my Word, you can see that I did all these commands. I also transfers them to my Word like this. And I want you to also learn about ProQuest and literature review. For this, we go online and search for ProQuest. I've already got it. Here we search for ProQuest. Click on it and write our topic. That was determinants of economic growth in Kenya. And choose dissertations and click on it. Now we have 3079 dissertations here, so you can choose any of them, anything that you like, copy from Mendeley's deskbot and paste it here. Paste it here. I have 5 of them and put all of them here. So academic references should also be found by searching online, going online. And for this, I forgot that after getting a ProQuest, we first have to get our Science Direct. For this, we go online. Science Direct. We do the same thing. So name, search. So as you can see, we have 12,175 results, but we need only open access, and only 3,000 of them are left. So we can view all of them for free without any problem. Find the ones that you prefer or like it, and also put it here. So, and after that, and only after that, if you click on insert biography, it will give references itself. So next is also I want to show you gel classification codes that include specific economic codes that we have, and for this we also go online. Gel classification codes. And here you have various letters, and you choose your topic, for example macroeconomics and monetary economics. So E0 is general aggregate models, consumption, saving, production, prices, and etc. So you choose the one that best suits the variables or the that you chose, or the topic that you have taken. Okay, and mine one were O47, E31, F43, and C23. So next it is registering Orcid number, which I also found here. Orcid number. We go to Orcid, and I have already registered. And here, as you can see, here, this is Orcid number. And yes, there I also left it here, Orcid number. And here you can download your works like here. But before downloading it, I would suggest or recommend you to check it in a Grammarly check here. So Grammarly.com I meant. Here. So you should first sign up, and then you can download your upload your file to this site, and it will check whether your work is grammatically correct or not. And by this you can correct your mistakes and make it clearer and more in a more academic style. Yes, I have finished with this. Thank you all very much for your attention. I wish you all good luck in studying Stata, also in other educations. See you soon.